Aloha, beautiful souls. This is Ryan of tranSOULution, and welcome to Transform with Ryan, where I am bringing you that light whenever there are shadows. Now, in this pick a card tarot reading, we are going to be looking at your future spouse. Specifically, what is life like after marriage or union? And so, so many of us, we imagine and dream about finally meeting the one, our future spouse, the person that we choose to spend the rest of our life with. But what happens after? Like, what exactly is the happily ever after look like? And so that's what we're going to be calling in with the reading here today. And we have these beautiful goddesses here to help guide the reading, guide the conversation. First, we have the goddess Vesta, who's also an asteroid, actually, in astrology. And we have Mary Magdalene from, Christianity, Catholicism. And we have Hathor from Egypt. And we have Coventina, which is a Celtic goddess. So go ahead and see which one of these goddesses have information for you about life after marriage or union with your future spouse here, okay? And then you can take a look at the description box down below when you're ready and go to the timestamp for your reading. I will see you there. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. So happy to have you here for this very fun topic that we'll be covering here today, all about your future spouse, but specifically what life is like after the marriage and the union with them. And for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. Thank you so much for joining us today here for this reading. I'm so excited to have you here. Do let me know in the comments down below where you are tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get to your reading, loves. So you were drawn to the Roman goddess Vesta. She is the goddess of the hearth and home. And what she brings is this warmth to the household, not just like temperature wise to make it warm and cozy and comfortable, but also emotionally. And she is a fire goddess, which makes sense since she is the Roman goddess of the hearth. And so she really deals a lot with the living situation. And so what I am getting right out the gate, for those of you drawn to Vesta, is you and your future spouse are really invested in your home. Like, some people, they just need a place to live. They need a place to crash, right? But not the two of you. The two of you are really looking to create a place to settle down, have roots, create a refuge, if you will, for you both to return to after you've been out there in the world. Maybe after you've, traveled, went on vacation, gone to work even, gone out and did activities. Your home is really going to be your sanctuary. That's a very strong word that I'm getting. And both of you will actually be very invested in making sure that the energies and the atmosphere within your home are truly aligned and supportive for the both of you. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if one or both of you look into feng shui and be very mindful of how energy flows within your household. And so I see that you all are really paying attention to even like the slightest details of your home, such as like how tall the windows are, how many of them are there, what shape are the windows, like do you have a backyard, do you have a front yard, what goes in the yard, do you plant a garden, do you plant flowers, or maybe like a swing or something. And even like the furniture. So there's this attention to detail within your home that's very, very important to the both of you. And, there are some homes, maybe you've sensed this yourself, that you like walk into and they feel a little bit cold, a bit detached, disconnected, almost like clinical in a way, right? But not your home. Your home is not like that. It's very warm. People who you invite into your home, who you trust to come into your home and have their energies there, they're really going to be amazed. because honestly, your home, like I said, is your sanctuary, your protected space, so you actually won't invite a lot of people over to your home. You're not necessarily that type of person that's like, oh, like, when can we have the next gathering or party at our house? It's not so much that, it's something that you're very mindful of, with the energies of your home. And it's not saying you don't open it up to people, it's not that at all. It's more that you're very selective of who and when you open your home up to others. Um, and I don't know why, but I'm sensing for many of you too, you have sort of this common link with your future spouse, your future partner, regarding like tiny homes and having a home that's very conscious about the environment, and a home. Like, I saw this in this movie called Falling in Love, and the inn is spelled INN, like a bed and breakfast, like an inn for travelers kind of thing. And the main character in the story, she designed this home that really limited water waste, and it reduced the impact as far as energy usage. I think there was like solar panels built in and things like that. So the home was very, very eco-friendly. So I sense that for a lot of you, that again, you've thought a lot about your home, and maybe you got, oh my gosh, I'm also getting this download that either you or your partner really love watching those DIY home improvement shows, right? Maybe you spend a lot of time at um, home goods kind of store, where in the US, it's Lowe's, it's Home Depot, those kinds of places where there's all these supplies to really beautify and expand your house. So, anyways, that was a lot of energy and information regarding your home. It's just such an important thing, and you both are creating truly a very beautiful home. And if you're choosing to have a family as well, like, your children are really going to grow up in an amazing space. And I even see that there's like this tree house, or kind of like a little play area in the backyard, if that's interest to either of you as well. And I think that's so, so magical. I mean, I always wanted a tree house as a kid. Did you? I don't know if any of you wanted a tree house or had a tree house, but I thought that would be such a cool thing to have. I remember seeing it in the TV shows and the movies as a kid, and I was like, oh my God, I want one, because it's, again, that a sanctuary, a safe haven for the children. And maybe perhaps some of you did have some kind of treehouse or playground, and that sort of became the root, if you will, for your desire to have a specific type of home. So let's find out more about your life together after marriage. So we already know that the home is a big deal, and you're definitely looking to settle down and have roots. I'm seeing that you're not really a nomadic kind of couple where it's like, hey, let's be digital nomads and just travel all over the world and not really have like a home base of operations and just go on adventures quite often. Like, you're that type of couple that's like, hey, I want a house. I want to, find out where I can set roots, and this is where I'm going to be for the rest of my life, kind of thing. So let's get some more information about your life together. Split energy. Interesting. Balance. Ooh, romance. Okay, okay. I love that. Chaser. And vibration. Okay, so let's try to make some more space here for these cards so they can kind of snuggle up and be close to each other. Okay, so with this right here, which is very beautiful, part of the warmth of your household is the romance between the two of you. So you are going to be that cutesy wootsy couple that never forgets why they're together and how much they love and care for each other. Um, and the romance will definitely be warm throughout your relationship together, just like Vesta brings in that emotional warmth within the home. And so I see the both of you really celebrating all the anniversaries. Like, it's your wedding anniversary and your first meeting anniversary. Those are really, really important dates for the two of you, and you cherish it and you make it really a point every year to celebrate the kind of coming together of the two of you in each other's lives. And that I think is so, so sweet. And, sometimes I wonder if there's enough romance in the world, but then I see this card. I do readings like this for people, and I'm like, yes, there it is. There's the romance. So you are definitely anchoring in that romance energy in the world. You're that inspiration for a lot of those novels and poems and movies that come out. So that is so, so beautiful. Now let's go to this part of the cards. We have split energy and balance. So what I'm sensing is that both of you are actually quite busy as adults in your careers, in your profession. And so even though your energy can be a bit split, right, between your responsibilities at work and your responsibilities at your beautiful, wonderful home, you actually are able to balance. Everything is able to be in balance within your household. And what I'm sensing from spirit is that's really the crux of your investment in your home, is that you know that your home is such an important refuge, a place for you to rest and recharge and ground yourself. That's why you put so much thought into your home, because you have all these responsibilities and you know what it's like when your home isn't a place where you can truly relax, rejuvenate, and recharge. You know it has consequences when it comes to your life outside of the home, where your energy feels drained. Maybe you're more irritable or unfocused, even if you're not able to create this lovely home atmosphere. So that is really wonderful, really beautiful here to see that you're able to maintain such a beautiful balance, the both of you, between your personal life and your professional life. Now, here with the Chaser card, this is really, really interesting. What I'm getting is that one of you is definitely more of a romantic than the other one. So, both of you definitely love each other and cherish each other. Like, that's definitely not in question here. But it's more like the gestures. So either you or your future spouse like really put a lot of thought and time and energy into these little gestures of love, whether it's something as simple as packing the lunch or preparing breakfast for the both of you every day, leaving little love notes for the other person or for even each other. And so there's this like kind of energy where one person is definitely a little bit more, what is the word? Sentimental than the other person. And that's really just how they show their affection for you, and or you show your affection to them, okay? And the value that you place on each other. So, if you are you familiar with the five love languages? So this person, definitely, I would say they're one of those people where it's the acts of service is probably very, very strong for them, and words of affirmation, words of love is a big one as well, and gift giving. I'm sensing those as like really, really strong ones as part of your love language or their love language. Okay. Now, we have here vibration, energy and positivity. Raise your vibration to attract what you desire. So, this actually, okay. So, for those of you that are spiritually connected, spiritually awakened. Oh my gosh, I like totally forgot my English there for a second. This really will speak to you that you understand the importance of not only your personal vibration, like your personal energy field, but you understand the vibration and the energy field of your living situation. So where do you spend most of your time? So work and maybe your office or your job, right? That's where you spend the majority of your time and in your bedroom likely too, right? And so you're very mindful of what energies go into those spaces, and you are both very mindful of like clearing any negative or heavy energies out of your home. So that could be making sure it stays very clean always, like you don't let your house fall to the wayside and let a lot of dust or dander or dishes pile up. You definitely keep your house very, very clean. And going back to the conversation of feng shui, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you are familiar or look into things like the wealth corner in your home, and you make sure to have the appropriate furniture and space in those areas to really call in wealth into the household. And there are certain ways that are good for the house to face, even to make the energy more conducive to the inhabitants. So it's, again, you're what I'm getting, actually? I've never heard of it put this way, but Spirit is saying it's like your home is an extension of your body. And so you cherish your home just as much as you cherish your own physical body. So, wow, that's pretty amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for helping me come to this understanding about how the home, like this new layer of understanding about how the home and our physical environment really affects our energies. That was really, really cool to know. So let's get some more information about you and your life with your future spouse here after you come into union, after your marriage or ceremony here. So we have the Grim Reaper. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. Oh, wow. So again, this is like what I'm sensing with this card is like you are each other's forever partner, okay? And there will be like no divorcing, no separating here. Like this is it for the two of you. And it's almost like your exes, like you don't even, it's almost like the energy cords tying you and your exes are like completely dissolved and non-existent anymore. And it's almost like, wow, I didn't even know what love was until I met you. And so all these other people I dated or were in a relationship with before, it's like they pale in comparison to the relationship I have with you. And so, their connection with those other people is like truly over. And so for those of you that maybe had some concerns about like, oh my gosh, they're friends with their ex, like could they fall back in love with them, are they going to get back together with them, like don't even worry about that. They don't see any of their exes that way at all. They see you as like their one and only, like no one else can replace you. Oh, twin flames. And look, it comes right under the yin yan's and balance, right under this one too. And so there is really this complementary nature between the two of you. And so it's almost like you want whatever shortcomings you may have, the other person will fill it. And so and I actually shortcomings isn't really the right word for it. It's whatever you're not interested in doing or you don't have really a passion for, this other person will kind of fill that role. So for example, if you're like, ew, I don't like handling the bills and making sure they're all paid off and monitoring our power usage and our water usage and blah, blah, blah. Like maybe you're not interested in that. But your partner is, and they'll take care of that. And maybe your partner isn't really much for like sweeping and mopping or vacuuming, but you don't mind that at all. And so you sort of fill that role within the household. So in that way, yes, you complement each other. And your house is very well run because both of you have different passions towards maintaining the house and the home. And same thing with your relationship, right? When it comes to managing finances and also making sure that well, I was going to say making sure that you both spend enough time with each other, but that's actually not true because there's so much romance between the two of you that both of you make sure to nourish quality time with each other and spend time with each other regularly so that you nurture that connection you have. Heartbroken. Oh, this is interesting. So let me come back to that. We have the Phoenix. So more transformation even. Okay. And the Runner. Oh, so we have Runner and Chaser. Oh, interesting. So what I'm actually getting a bit of a warning here with this Runner card for all of you. What I'm getting here is that sometimes it's important to remember that there are other people in the world aside from your spouse or your partner, okay? There's this opportunity here because you get along so smashingly, so well, to it's almost like, with your past lovers, like they didn't even exist anymore. It's like everybody else too, like friends and other family members. It's almost like you forget about them sometimes because you're just so into each other. Um, and this is just sort of like a message from spirit that, hey, don't forget about balance. So, not only balance between work and personal life, but balance within your relationship. So, make sure that you're spending enough time also with friends and family members as well. And not just sort of being a bit obsessive with each other, okay? That way you can avoid this codependent structure to your relationship, okay? So make sure you take some time as well to be independent and do your own thing, not only by yourself, but with your own family, your own friends, so that there's even that sort of balance within your relationships, okay? And what's so great is with this, we have transformation with the Phoenix, but we also have grow and transform your life here with the Grim Reaper. And so this relationship is very transformative for the both of you. And it's really going to grow you and cultivate you both in very, very beautiful ways. Um, so healing a lot of heartbreak, I would say, is big within your relationship, and not heartbreak between the two of you. It's not really that. It's heartbreaks of the past. So remember how I was saying it's almost like whatever relationships you had before, good or bad, is like, wow, they don't even compare to your relationship with your spouse, your partner. And so that really heals because it's like, oh, okay, well, I had this relationship before and it ended. It was a bad breakup and it really, really sucked. Um, and now you maybe have a trauma or a pain point or an emotional wound or scar from it. Well, when you meet each other and you come into union, it's kind of like that love that you have together is so strong that it actually heals any emotional wounds from the past, okay, and heals this heartbreak. Now, the flip side that I'm getting from this is that definitely because you guys have such a deep bond and connection, at times it can be hard for you to be apart for very long periods of time. But again, it's just remember, it's a bit healthy as well to have space within a relationship, your own personal space, to be your own individual person separate from the relationship that you have together as well. So that's just another sort of gentle reminder from spirit to make sure that you don't spend all your waking hours with your partner, and make sure you nurture yourself and you nurture your soul and your desires as well. Okay? So, let's pull another set of cards here with the tarot to see if there's any other big points and information about your life together after marriage. Ooh. Let me know what you're really feeling in the comments down below. So, what, what is so important to understand about manifestation and creating the life that you want is the more of your senses that you can involve in creating your reality, the better. So not only is it good to like hear and see what the cards are sharing with you, but it's also important to write it down or type it in, the things that you're calling into your reality. So whatever it is that's resonating with you, be specific and say, yes, I am calling in my future spouse and our beautiful, wonderful home, like whatever that affirmation is going to be for you. Okay, so let's see what we got here. The Page of Cups, the Sun, Two of Coins. Oh, another balance card, another balance card. King of Swords. And Four of Cups. Okay, so What I'm seeing here is definitely a lot of happiness, a lot of joy in your future here with the Sun card. I'm also sensing that, speaking of home, I'm seeing that perhaps many of you are desiring a home where there's a lot of sunshine, where the climate is rather on the warm side, maybe tropical for some of you. And so not really in like the extreme poles, right? Where it's like probably Alaska, for example, is not going to be a spot for you, or Russia, or any area where the amount of sunshine is not as much. So a lot of like the northern latitudes. So very sunny place for where you're going to be settling your roots, where the weather is quite agreeable for your personalities. And this card here, again, speaking to that balance, needing that balance between your personal relationship with you and your spouse and your relationships with the other people in your life, but maintaining that balance between work and home. So that really speaks to that a lot. Now, what I'm seeing interestingly with the King of Swords and the Page of Cups is kind of like your personalities here. Okay? So, with the King of Swords, one of you tends to be rather logical, rather intelligent, like well read as far as books go, as far as knowledge, building your knowledge base, like facts and data and information. So, one of you is very, very strong in that regards. Um, yeah, I'm getting some downloads about career. So, lawyer in medicine, a judge. What else am I getting? Researcher, engineer, like those kinds of very cerebral jobs, okay? And the other person with the cups energy is very intuitive, very creative, very kind of dreamy. Someone who is also like, this is a very high IQ, which is like intelligent quotient, right? This person here is very high in the EQ, emotional quotient. So, someone who has a lot of compassion and understanding for people, um, and their situations is what I'm sensing as well. A lot of empathy and sympathy energies here. So this person could be like a teacher, a coach, a mentor, an artist, a musician, um, a psychic, even, right? An intuitive, a therapist. That's another one that's coming through. What other kind of careers? Yoga instructor. Yeah. So that really highlights both of your strengths and how you two can come together to really build a life that is very full, that feels very complete, that feels very whole, okay? And with this card here with the 4 of Cups, what I'm actually sensing for many of you is not necessarily, I don't know if I would call it frugal, but I would say in your relationship, you don't, neither of you tend to be very gaudy or fancy types of personalities where you really place a lot of emphasis on material possessions. Like, yeah, you have this beautiful home, yeah, you furnish it well, but there's also this practicality to it, okay? Where yes, you're paying maybe a good amount of money, but it's for quality. So, in other words, like what I'm sensing is you're not like brand whores, okay? Where it's like, oh, I have to have this brand so I could like show it off to people and establish just how much I'm worth monetarily and just how much I make. Like, I don't really get that sense with the two of you. It's like you spend your money very wisely, very thoughtfully. You're not frivolous with the things that you buy and purchase or the vacations that you go on. You make sure you really have a comfortable, wonderful, beautiful experience without going into excess. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm sensing here. And also, Wow, interesting. So emotionally as well, I get the sense too that even though, one person has high IQ, the other person has high EQ, um, you you are not there's like this sense of emotional reservation between the two of you, right? Where it's like neither of you tend to go in the direction of the dramatic, right? Where maybe the emotions are expressed to the point where it's sort of like, oh my gosh, it's like a lot, right? The person, like, okay, believe it or not, guys, I did have somebody that I used to work with who a couple of times when they got really upset, they actually would throw themselves on the floor and like groan and make loud noises of frustration and exasperation. And I thought it was like so bizarre because, we were at work and we were supposed to be conducting ourselves in a very professional manner. And this person would really drop themselves on the floor, very similar to like how I would see children doing. And I was just waiting for them to start pounding their hands and feet on the floor as if they were about to throw a tantrum. It was very interesting. I'd never really encountered that in another adult before, but neither of you have that kind of personality, okay? And that, again, that's maybe a bit extreme, but also what I'm sensing, it's not even like you don't neither of you really raise your voice at each other when you're angry or like throw things, okay? So it's in a way some people might look at it as being emotionally reserved, but I think also what it more truly is knowing really the channels to and the outlets to express your emotions in a healthier way and a more mature way. So so yeah, I don't see a lot of like big, loud, crazy fights where it's like, oh my God, the neighbors can hear you guys yelling at each other kind of energy within your relationship. It's you really can convey and express your emotions in a very mature and clear manner. So yeah, wow. That was like a really detailed sort of piece of information there. So I love that for your relationship though. That's so beautiful. Now again, if this reading resonated with you, make sure to like and comment down the things that resonate with you the most and the things that you're calling in about your life with your future spouse or your partner after this marriage and union. I would love to see these beautiful things that you're calling into manifestation into this reality. And if you'd like another reading, you can click this link right up here in the top right corner. But otherwise, my dears, until next time, I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Have a very beautiful day. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we are going to be taking a deeper look at your future spouse, specifically what life is like after your marriage and union with them. I'm really excited to do this reading. I feel like some very beautiful information and insight is going to come through for all of you today. Now, for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do let me know in the comments down below where you are tuning in from. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get to your reading here with Mary Magdalene or Magdalene. And it's unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And what I'm sensing from this energy of Mary Magdalene is this judgment-free love. Like here it says, quite beautifully, unconditional love that you have for each other. And in your relationship, there's very, very, very little room and space for judgment and criticism. And I think this is truly, truly amazing because so many people, we have our opinions and thoughts on what other people should be like in our lives and how they can serve us or what role they can play for our benefit, right? And in the relationship that two of you have together, really it's just you meet each other where you're at. Okay? Like if you're having a bad day, you just express your emotions, and the other person holds space for you, and they allow you to be authentically who you are in any moment, whether you're angry, upset, sad, happy, joyful, peaceful, blissful, expanding, whatever. It's like you just see each other for who you are at that moment and you accept it. You just hold space. What I'm sensing is you don't try to change each other. Okay? And I'm getting this really beautiful scene. It's like, you know how sometimes when somebody is having a bad day and the other person takes it upon themselves, like, okay, well, I have to cheer you up. It's my responsibility now to make your day better than what it was, right? I think that's a very common, a very natural sort of instinct to have when someone that you care for is really struggling or suffering. But in your relationship, what I see for the both of you is that instead of feeling like you have to solve each other's problems all the time, you ask permission first. Like, hey, I get the sense that you're having a tough day. Is there anything I can do to help you? Or would you like me to do something for you to help your day be a little bit better or be a little bit easier, right? And what's so beautiful about that type of relationship is that you don't assume that you know what's best for each other. Does that make sense? So sometimes we have to go through very difficult or challenging experiences in life so that we can grow and expand. And even though it makes us uncomfortable to see someone we care about struggling or suffering or being sad, we also have to acknowledge that it's not always our place to take care of everything for them, to solve everything for them, right? To protect them from all the bad things that could happen out in the world. Because we all have to go through our growth experiences, our stretch experiences, our trials and tribulations as well. Sometimes, yeah, we can totally help each other out and we can be there for each other and take part of the burden and carry part of the weight, but not always. Not always. Sometimes we just have to do things on our own for once and really prove to ourselves what we're capable of without always having like assistance or having a crutch to help us through. And I think that's really, really, really amazing. And it creates such a very mature and beautiful dynamic in relationships when you can do that for each other. Just simply hold space, simply listen without trying to solve each other's problems all the time or intervene all the time. It really takes a lot of the weight and burden off of you as well. And it acknowledges that your partner is quite a magnificent, capable, and powerful being, and they can, if they so choose, triumph and achieve success without a lot of help or without any help. Okay, so it's like you both have this understanding of each other's energies, like knowing when to intervene, knowing when to hold space, knowing when to just give space and let them be alone and do their own thing. And I love that. And the story with Mary Magdalene is, oftentimes in my past, when I was growing up, she was, portrayed as being a prostitute. And, in other interpretations, which I'm inclined to believe are a bit more accurate, she served as the bride or the partner of Jesus, or even a disciple or a priestess. And she, her role was quite significant in Jesus's life. But, what I'm coming to see and understand is there was a lot of misogynistic attitudes back in the day that really downplayed her role and importance in his life. And so what I'm seeing from that is this unconditional love where it's like, hey, you can label me however you want to label me, but I know who I am. Okay, you can call me a prostitute, you can call me, a whore, you can call me a liar, you can call me whatever, you know, but I know who I am. And for each other, you know who the other person truly is, and you don't fall into this gossip and this hearsay about each other, um, because you see each other for who you truly are. Oh my God, that was everything. I feel like, my gosh, I almost want to just stop the reading right there. But I won't. But I won't. Okay. We have a lot more stuff to go over and cover for you, my dear. So hang tight. Have another sip of your water or your coffee or your tea or your smoothie, whatever, because we're going to get some more information about life after marriage or union with your future spouse slash partner. Okay. So let's see what we got coming through here. Okay, loves? So we have outcome, forgive. That's beautiful. How appropriate. How in line with the messages here of Mary Magdalene. Fear, hesitation, and destruction. Wow. Okay. Wow. 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 So this set of cards here is really, really interesting. Okay. So first of all, what I'm sensing here with this forgive is you guys really don't get angry with each other. And if you do get angry, you don't stay angry for very long, okay? It's I don't see a lot of opportunities here for you to both go to bed angry because of a disagreement you had, or not talk to each other for days on end, or like, you sleep on the couch tonight. I can't even be around you. Or even, I hear sometimes when people get in a fight that, one person goes to their parents' house, like, oh, I can't be in the same house as you. I'm going to my mother's, or I'm going to my dad's house, or I'm going to go stay at a hotel or whatever. Like, I don't see that ever happening in your relationship. Because, again, even if you may be angry in the moment or something really sort of triggered you, it's like with each other, you have this insight to really come back down to your true self, your true nature, and not bear or hold a grudge for very long. Like, it's very easy for you to forgive each other for any arguments, disagreements, or if there is any instance of a transgression. It's really easy for you both to move beyond that, okay? And I feel like I need some clarification on this outcome card here. Let me pull a tarot card, okay? Let's see if we can get some more information on that. That one is not as clear to me. 6 of Coins. Okay, so a lot of caring for each other and nurturing each other. You know what this is? I'm seeing that you actually will have a very long life together. Like, you will grow old together. That's what I'm seeing here with this older lady on this card and what's kind of coming through. Well, not quite what I was expecting to see here, but definitely the message from this is like having a very long and fulfilling life together. Okay. Now this part, this is really interesting, wouldn't you say? Because at first glance, it's like, what? Fear, hesitation, destruction? Like, those don't seem very good. But what I'm seeing actually as a sort of like a collective message here is that you both coming together is going to be a big shift in both of your lives, in leaving the past behind. So there was definitely some pain, some difficulties in your life, their life, both of your lives. Just one second. Excuse me. And it was sort of a weight or a burden that you bared or they bared for a good chunk of their life. Maybe one of them was abandoned as a child. And so they were put up for adoption. And it was like they had some issues or pain around fear of abandonment, fear of being unlovable or unloved, right? And with that, it's like from this destruction in their past, whether it was destruction again of their self esteem, their self worth, their lovability, whatever that energy was, it created this fear within them that, kind of affected their life and their confidence, perhaps. That is all going to be healed. Okay, you for each other, or maybe for whichever one of you experience some significant trauma in the past, the other person serves as this, what is a good word for that? Serves as this support or this uplifting energy to help bring you above the past circumstances and help you move forward. Helps you feel safe because of this unconditional love. Like you feel safe around each other to be your vulnerable, authentic self. And that in and of itself was just so healing. Wow, and I'm getting to it became this. So not only are you able to forgive each other quite readily, but because of the love you have together and because of the way you demonstrate what love truly is in the world, you both are able to forgive past connections that may have hurt you and break those energetic ties that weigh you down with this individual who caused you pain before. Oh my God, very, 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 very interesting. And so, what I'm seeing because of your relationship is there's so much courage that you both have now because of the love that you get from each other. There's so much bold action that you take because of your love and support from each other. There's no more hesitation. There's no more fear. There's no more destruction. It's all about now creation. So it's like you both inspire each other so much, and each other's presence is like a balm or a soothing force within your lives that you kind of like recharge each other and you give each other strength to move forward, to take action, to rise above any doubts, fears, and anxiety. Wow, it's like, yeah, it's like you guys are each other's rocks, but it's more than that. You're also like each other's, I don't know, like solar panels or like battery packs, if that makes sense. It's almost like you feel charged by each other and empowered by each other. Yeah, ooh, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. That is so cool. Okay, let's get some more cards here, some more information about your life together. And so I see a lot of encouragement with each other where it's like, if one of you ever gets afraid to do something or fearful, the other person will like cheer you on, will encourage you and support you. And then you're gonna like, okay, yeah, I could totally do this. I could do this now. So your life is like that, where it's like you help each other push through boundaries that you have for each other, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm afraid to do this, and the other person will show up there for you and be like, no, you got this. I believe in you. You can do this. And you can push your boundaries even further and expand even beyond where you're currently at. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on here. We have the runner. So for whatever things are not healed within, the either of you, there is this sort of habit where it's like they'll try to run or avoid a situation because it's too triggering or too scary for them. And so the other person, will make sure that, hey, let's sit down for a second, hold my hand, let me hug you, let me embrace you. Like, what is happening here? What's going on? Let's talk about it. Let's work through this together, okay? So it's like holding each other accountable okay? And holding space for each other, being there for each other. Clock, oh my gosh, yes, like time to heal. So being around each other is very healing. But also, again, with this clock, is like, well, you guys will be spending many, many, many years together in union and in marriage. It's like, my gosh, you're gonna be like that cute old couple that still gives each other kisses and, like, I don't know, does these cutesy things, like holds open the door for each other, or cuts each other's carrots or steak on the plates for the other person. Like, I don't know. I just see it as like the super, super cute thing. And oh my gosh, I'm even being reminded of that movie, The Notebook. Have any of you ever seen that movie, The Notebook? Where, okay, spoiler alert, guys, where one of the people in the relationship has like Alzheimer's or dementia and like loses all their memories when they get old, and the other person kind of reminds them of the love that they had in the past. It's like really, really cute. So maybe if you are feeling called to and you haven't yet, you can watch that movie. Or if you already watched it, maybe you can watch it again to really get this idea or get an example of this unconditional love, like truly through sickness and in health, and through for richer or for poor, like really you guys will stand by each other through everything. Like you can count on each other. That's what your life is like. Like this is your rock, this is your foundation. You can always count on each other to be there. Hammer, oh, that's this rebuilding and working on it. Okay, so a lot of your relationship, what makes it so beautiful and so fulfilling is that you really heal each other. That's really what it is. You heal each other, and from the love that you share, you can rebuild your life to match and be more aligned with the kind of life that you actually want. Okay? So breaking again down those boundaries and those limitations and expanding. So that's what's coming through here. Healthy choices. Yes, 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 yes. So I definitely see as part of your relationship, your emotional well being improving. So maybe for some of you who have a history of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, like whatever it is, like being with each other, being around each other really helps improve the situation there. And just as you both become more aware of boundaries and limitations that you have, so you break down the boundaries and limitations that don't serve you anymore, but you also help each other erect healthy boundaries and make healthy choices as far as like what you eat, what habits you have, what type of relationships and behavior patterns you have as well. Oh, wow. Very, very, very interesting. And then here we have sunglasses. So the words here on the bottom actually are not speaking to me in relation to your reading. But for those of you, I definitely honor the divinity within you. So the bottom says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. So if any of those words mean anything to you as far as like what type of life you'd like to live with your future spouse or partner, like by all means, definitely tune into that. But what I'm actually getting here from this is really seeing the truth of your life, of who you are. What I'm seeing here is that, a lot of times our partners can be a reflection of who we are as well. Okay. A lot of these soul connections really help mirror our true identities, our higher selves. And so it's like lifting of these sunglasses so that you can actually see the light within each other. And by being able to acknowledge the light within each other, you can start to see the light within other people outside of your relationship as well. And And what I'm seeing is really the two of you are this anchor for compassion and love within the world. So not only is your relationship important, right, for the two of you and valuable for the two of you, but just your relationship alone, here on earth is really bringing in those frequencies of compassion, of patience, of forgiveness, of honoring the authentic version of each other and everyone else. Um, Wow. Oh my gosh, wow. So it's like your relationship serves a greater purpose than just in your individual lives, but really in the collective consciousness. Oh my gosh, like geez, well, I mean, what can I expect from Mary Magdalene here, who's such a prominent figure in the Bible? Like, definitely main character vibes here, main cast of the story. So big purpose here with your union. Oh wow, was not expecting that, y'all. Was not expecting that. It's almost like you both are an example of what a true bond and relationship is really like. Oh wow. Wow, it's like even what I'm getting is kind of beyond the conventional notion of those fairy tale romances. Like it's your relationship is beyond that. It goes beyond these archetypes. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, I'm like kind of blown away by that actually. So, yeah, you all definitely maybe you might see that your relationship has a lot of work involved in just the relationship itself that you two, but you are really setting the example and setting a tone for people who get to witness your relationship. Wowzers, that's amazing. So here we have the King of Swords, Four of Coins, Nine of Swords, Judgment. Yes. So there's this bigger, greater purpose for your relationship again than just like, oh, you're my special person and I'm your special person. Yay. No, there's something more. Like from your relationship, what I'm seeing is it's going to have reverberations, and an impact beyond just the two of you. King of Wands. Wow. Okay, so we have the King of Wands here and the King of Swords. So definitely describing your vibes, your essence between the two of you. So let's kind of go over that here for a moment. So what we're looking at in regards to these kind of archetypes here is with the King of Wands, it's someone who's very charismatic, who's very magnetic, very attractive, very persuasive kind of personality, okay? So someone that can be very convincing in any arguments or disagreements, or if they're presenting their case to sort of explain their thought process and who they are or their viewpoint. They're very persuasive, very convincing kind of personality. And also, they're very in tune and connected with people and their wants and their needs. Like they see people for who they truly are and can work with that energy, okay? And here with the King of Swords, someone who's very intellectual, very smart, someone who can pick things up quite easily when they learn something new. Also, someone who is very practical, pragmatic, very logical. They're that kind of person I would say that you want around in a crisis, because this is the kind of person that could keep a level head here, okay? Someone who doesn't get overwhelmed by their emotions in times of crisis or panic or whatever, and they can really help navigate a situation to get to safety, to get to calm, to get to peace. And then, after that, you can process emotions and process the experience and things like that. So those are sort of the qualities that may be present in you and your partner. Okay, so see whichever one kind of aligns with you most. And just as a reminder, Wands energy is fire energy. So if you're into astrology and the zodiac, this would be Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. And for the King of Swords, that would be air energy. So that would be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, okay? And honestly, these energies really complement each other with air and fire, right? Air feeds fire, um, and the bond between the two of them flows quite nicely with each other. Okay, so let's take a look at this Four of Coins, Nine of Swords energy here. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is definitely this history of disappointment with you or with your future spouse. It's going to play a big role in life together. And so it's really important that you really see each other for that and have patience each other for that, because there are some traumas that they're going to have to work through. But you are such a key element, or they are such a key element in your life for working through those energies. Okay, so what I'm sensing here from Spirit is just going to have a lot of patience. Okay, someone in this relationship does have a lot of demons from their past that are going to like rise up, especially when you meet each other. Okay, because when you meet each other, it's like, wow, it's this opportunity for a paradigm shift, for a reality shift in your lives. And so that often, as the light shines brighter, sometimes the shadows can grow even bigger. And it's really, these shadows are coming up so that they can be worked through, so that they can be healed, so that they can be released. So definitely have a little bit of patience with that, okay? And here with the Four of Coins, again, I'm seeing like some of this energy is a bit closed off. And so be patient, all right? There is this need to reestablish a baseline when you come together, okay? So one of you might be a little bit jittery, might be a little bit alert and skittish. That's a good word. One of you might be a bit skittish in the relationship, but it doesn't mean that you don't love each other or that they don't really love you. It's just what I'm getting from Spirit is like, just be patient with each other. As you heal through past traumas and pain. Because you both really are a wonderful support system for each other and an anchor for each other. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's actually reminding me of this couple in the show Heartstopper. So it's a really cute story, like a coming of age story with two boys, and how one of them is bisexual and one of them is gay, and they end up falling in love with each other, and the things that they have to go through as young adults. You know, they're like teenagers, so 15, 16 kind of age, but it kind of shows their story. And one of them really suffers from OCD and an eating disorder, but they really support, the other person really supports them through that mental health issue, okay? And that's really what love is, okay? Again, through sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, for good times and bad times, like really being there for each other. Yeah, wow, oh my God, wow, that's really powerful. That's really, really powerful, because, you know, it's not like you just hang around for anybody, you know, like this is your soulmate here, is what I'm sensing, is very soulmate vibes. A lot of this lifetime is about healing. And what I'm sensing too is you've actually known each other in previous lifetimes as well. So this isn't just a, hey, we met in this lifetime and then maybe we'll hang out together in the beyond. Like, no, you've known each other before. You've shared past lives before. And I'm definitely feeling that coming through with the Judgment card as well. Oh, wow, this was really deep, y'all. This was deep. But, you know, I like it. I like that kind of stuff. I hope you do too. Let me know what you liked about your reading. Comment it down below. Anchor that kind of energy in. Call this future spouse into your life by affirming the things that resonated with you in this reading. And of course, if you enjoy the energies here, please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And you can check out another reading by clicking this link up here in the top right corner, of course. And I'm so thrilled I got to do this reading for all of you. I hope it nurtured your soul just as much as it did mine. I'm sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. See you next time. Bye. Hey there, Star Fam! Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we are looking at your future spouse, specifically what kind of life you'll have together after your marriage and your union. Okay, so I'm so excited to do this reading. I think a lot of really cool and interesting things are going to come out for all of you here today. Now, for those of you that are new to this channel, sending you a very warm welcome and aloha. So happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this reading. Please let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get into your reading. So you were drawn to Hathor, and it says receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So just a little bit about Hathor. Hathor is one of the Egyptian goddesses, okay? And she is a very benevolent goddess, and she really helps a lot with child conception, birthing, raising, and she's a very nurturing energy, okay? In fact, the cow is one of the symbols for Hathor, and it really represents the life-giving milk that a cow produces and a lot of the mothering energy, nurturing energy, and what this means for you and your relationship with your spouse, your life after marriage together, is your future spouse. What I'm getting here is really more so from your perspective that they are going to be very nurturing towards you. They are really going to allow you to open up your channels for receiving love, receiving gifts, receiving physical affection, receiving acceptance. That's like a big thing. Receiving a lot of love and acceptance for many of you is what's kind of coming through here. And so whatever channels were blocked for you before regarding receiving, they're going to help open them up for you. So what I'm getting for many of you is that a lot of your life has been spent giving and taking care of others and doing everything for others, putting other people first. But in this relationship with your future spouse, it's you're going to have an opportunity to actually put yourself first, because this person wants to shower you with love and affection and really take care of you. And so your energy is going to be a bit free to put into other things, whatever your choice is, because now you don't have to be spending so much time taking care of someone else. In fact, you are being taken care of for once in your life. Okay, I just want to make it clear that it's not like you don't do anything for your spouse. It's not like it's like you're just a taker in the relationship, because I'm getting the sense that some of you are kind of cringing already at what we were just talking about. So, no, you do your part to show love and affection towards your spouse, but it won't be a one-way interaction anymore, which is probably how a lot of your interactions might have been in the past, where you're definitely putting out more than you're taking in or receiving. I feel like definitely the at least is going to be balanced at the very least, but I'm sensing that you're going to have in this relationship, your ability to receive is going to be a lot more than your responsibility to give. Okay. And it's because what I'm sensing for you is that the energy that your spouse pours into you and the love that your spouse pours into you, you can take it to nourish yourself. Yes, nurture yourself, but also you can use that energy to nurture other things in your life, whether that's your career, whether it's the family that you two create together, whether it's the volunteer work that you help with, or whether if you need to use that energy to care for other people, not just your family, like maybe you're a teacher or a professor or a coach. So it's like your spouse is pouring this love and energy into you, and you use that energy to benefit other people on top of yourself. Does that make sense? And it's almost like you don't really get burnout anymore because of all the love and adoration and affection that your spouse gives to you. And kind of not to get into a lot of stereotypes here, but it's almost like you may be in a way like the breadwinner in the pair, okay? Like the one who has the more lucrative career or position, and the other person is like a housewife, house husband, right? Where they really nurture the home and make sure that you have a beautiful place to come home to, beautiful, like delicious food to eat, a wonderful, open, loving household kind of thing, right? So it's like that dynamic. But I know in the modern age that that looks a little bit different than it did, in the early 1900s kinds of thing, okay? But that's how I see the dynamic happening with you and your spouse. Wow, that's really really beautiful. And let's get another look here. Oh, okay. So that wanted to come out because it flipped. So let's see what else we got going on here, okay? With life after your marriage, your connection, your union. So that first card that came out is community, and already I'm getting like a lot of messages coming through from that card. So before I flip more cards after I'm done shuffling here, I will go ahead and explain that. Alrighty, sorry for that interruption, loves. So with community, this makes it more clear to me. This will help me explain better what I was talking about earlier. So, whether your partner has a job or not, what they help you do is nurture your community. So, what is your community? So, say for example, you are a business owner, right? So, your community would be the people that you work with, the people that you've hired, the people that you partner with or collaborate with to expand the business, right? So, by them nurturing you and taking care of you, you are able to nurture and focus on this community and building the strength and the unity here in this community, which can very well then result in better income for your household. And from there, you can provide, all the things that they need in their life. So do you see how this energy like flows and cycles? And for other people, it's like, maybe if you're a healthcare provider, this spouse is able to nurture you and provide this safe, wonderful haven for you in the home so that you can go out in the community and take care of all these sick people, which, some of you may know if you've been a part of this community here at Transform with Ryan that I used to work in medicine. And let me tell you, it's really draining to work with people for 12 hours straight who are not feeling well, who are sick, who are suffering, who are not happy, and holding the energy in for them and creating space for them. And so it can be very draining and very tiring, but it's a service that people need, right? To have their healthcare needs addressed and taken care of, and to receive that guidance on how to get better. And so that's what I see with like community. It's like you have this big role within the community, and it really helps to have your spouse or your partner have your back and really be there for you and take care of you and help nurture you in that kind of way in the home, okay? So that you can do the best that you can do in your responsibilities. Okay, so summer. Oh my gosh, I love that. So, summer is a very important season for the two of you. It could be that you met in the summer, could be that you got married in the summer. Maybe you love to travel somewhere for summer vacation, right? Especially if you have a family. I know a lot of families take trips during summer vacation, like family vacation. So, that has a lot of significance in your life moving forward. Sacred journey. Oh, interesting. So I feel like definitely this spouse, this partner of yours is helping you fulfill your life purpose, right? By the love that they're giving you and the nourishing energy that they're giving you, like you're able to fulfill your role in the world in this time, okay? Now, I used to I sense that maybe that needs a little bit of explaining. And, I used to think like, oh, that's sort of like a lame role is to be like a house husband or housewife. Like your job is to just support someone else to do their job. Like what? Like that's honestly how the younger version of me used to think. It used to think like it was a step down. But it's really a lot of social conditioning and social programming and probably a bit of misogyny in there to feel or have the opinion that the person who stays at home or the person who nourishes someone else so that they can go on to achieve great things, that role is somehow less than the other roles. And that's just not true. And so I felt like I had to clarify that for all of you, that this person is not like your slave or anything like that. It's not that. It's like they also get a sense of fulfillment from helping you and creating this home space for you and nurturing and nourishing you. That's how they're wired. That's like their purpose, how they feel fulfilled, right? All of us feel fulfilled by different things. And I've met some people, who feel fulfillment in their life by like, hey, like my purpose in life is to have children and to raise them to be very healthy, productive members of society. And that's a beautiful purpose. Not everybody's purpose is to be like, I don't know, the president of a country or the CEO of a business. It's again these social programmings and social and cultural conditioning that lead us to believe what is actually a worthy goal, what is actually a worthy purpose in life. Okay, that's all conditioning. So I would say too, like, take a moment now or after this reading to really hone in on your purpose and the beliefs you have around purpose and meaning in life. Okay, because I feel like you, my card 3 crew, are going to really benefit and get something very magical and transformative out of that practice, that exercise. Balance. See, there we go. So yin and yang. So it's this balance of your energies working together where, because you're able to receive from them, you're able to take action and give out, put energy out in the world. That's that dynamic that you have. And from the action that you put out in the world and the benefits from that action, this person can receive. Okay? They can receive. Again, like the obvious thing here is like financial gain, right? Like the more you're able to focus on your career path, the more money you can make and the more you can provide a home for this person. So everybody has their role and their purpose within this energy dynamic. And no role is more or less important than the other. Okay, that's really, really a big take home message. Hidden path. So, yes, detour, slow down, explore, go in a new direction. So, what I'm getting here is, this life that you have with your future spouse, it might challenge some of the conventions and traditions that you've held in your life up until now. And what's so beautiful about any relationship that has meaning is that it transforms us. It helps us evolve into this higher, greater expression of ourselves, a more true expression of our highest self here in this realm, in this reality, in this life, right? And so, with this relationship that you have, it's going to really challenge and make you rethink about what value is in the world, like what is truly important and what is everybody's role and significance in life, because everybody has a purpose in this life and everyone's and other people have a purpose in your life. Okay, so you have a purpose to live out in this life, but other people that come into your life have a significant purpose as well. Okay, okay, I think I explained that hopefully clear enough for you, my loves. So, wow, there's this, what I'm sensing is you have this really big mission in your life, and your spouse plays a big role in supporting that mission. Okay, and they're going to support you in ways that maybe you don't fully understand or appreciate just yet. Okay? But you'll see it. You will see it soon enough. Oh my God, this is amazing. Wow. My gosh, I love these revelations that I'm getting with the readings today because it's like the energy has been so different between, and this is what I love. I love about doing pick a card readings is because, they really speak to the individual and all the different expressions and ways that the question could be answered, right? Like, what is life like with your future spouse? There's going to be a lot of different ways that that can take shape and take form, and it's beautiful to see all the different ways it does so. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on in your relationship here. The Phoenix, new phase, transformation, growth. So I see growth in your career, not just in your personal life, but in your career as well. Like the relationship really creates the opportunities and the space for expansion within your business, within your job, your career, your professional path forward. Stabbed in the back, um, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Ooh, this is interesting. This feels like a big wild card here. This is not coming from your spouse. This is coming from someone else. That's what I'm getting here. So it's like you're going to come into union with your future spouse, your future partner, and someone else that you know um, is going to do something very shocking. Okay? I don't want to be like this forecaster of doom and gloom or whatever, but there is going to be some type of challenge involving a third person after you've come into union with your spouse. And your spouse is going to be a very key support system when all of this goes down. Okay? And I mean, that's the truth for any meaningful romantic relationship, right? Marital relationship is that the other person has your back. They have your best interest in mind. They look out for you. They protect you in whatever ways they can, and they help pick you up whenever there are really heavy burdens and weights to carry. So, wow. Wow. But thank goodness you're going to have your spouse and your partner with you. Oh, this is beautiful. Like, sometimes people don't feel like they have that support system when they go through rough times, but you will. You do. Boat, receiving what you need. Ah, perfect. Hey, Hathor. Receiving what you need. Receiving what you need. I feel like you need to type that in the comments down below. That I am open to receiving what I need. Like, call that out to the universe. Make sure you comment that down below so that you get what it is you need. Progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. Okay, so definitely with the boat, what I'm seeing is, like what we were talking about growth here with the Phoenix. This boat is like what I'm being called to share, like from spirit, is back in the day when people were discovering because you can't really discover lands that are already inhabited, right? But anyways, when people were discovering new lands, new territories, they often did it by boat, right? They crossed the sea to go to a new continent. And what I'm seeing is that this is what's happening with this relationship, is that as this relationship progresses, as this relationship flourishes, these new opportunities are going to be made available in personal and professional life, okay? Where it's like, wow, new things are being discovered and uncovered and seen, and a lot of expansion, right? I see just things are blossoming, growing, blooming in all aspects of your life after you come together. It's like, my gosh, where do you even stop at this point? You're just like, the sky is the limit. The other dimensions now are the limit. It's like, wow. Whatever it is, it's like you working with your spouse in this energy dynamic, energy exchange, energy flow. It's like literally miracles and dreams are being realized here. It's insane. Wow. That's awesome. Girl with a snake, empath, narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. So for sure with this, okay, your spouse, like, okay, yeah, whatever. They are creating this beautiful home for you, a place to come home to. You feel loved, you feel cared for, you feel secure, okay, right? So that's one layer. We already kind of explained that quite a bit here. But with this girl with a snake, like this, your spouse, they're going to be so good at reading energies, right? What I'm sensing is they are going to have this intuitive ability of their own where they can tell that as you grow and expand, as you make new connections, they're going to be able to tell who is, you know, deceptive, who is narcissistic, who is a user and abuser. Like, they're gonna be the ones to help create the boundaries around you. They're really going to protect you. They are going to be that person, you know, like maybe a lot of people don't pay them a lot of attention because you're the one that's in the forefront. You're the one that looks or appears to be the decision maker, but it's really your partner. Like your partner's counsel, your partner's advice is going to be very wise, very spot on, and you can trust it. So if they say like, that person right there, shady AF, like steer clear of them, do not engage with them, do not partner with them, do not hire them. Like, no, 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 that person's gonna be a problem. That's person, this is not the right fit for them. This is not the kind of energy we want within our community, within our company, within our home, whatever. Like, you can trust them. They're gonna be spot on, okay? They can read people to filth. They know. They know. And we have the butterfly. Oh, relationship evolving, healing the inner child, growth. Oh my gosh. So Hathor, again, is like, you know, you can think of it as like the great mother, if you will, of Egyptian deities. And what I'm seeing is, you know, your future spouse is going to help heal a lot of childhood wounds that you may have, childhood traumas. And so, my gosh, their presence in your life is going to be so beautiful and so healing and so helpful and on so many levels. Like, y'all, I wish sometimes, you know, words and language are just such a hindrance to explaining everything that I'm getting when I do these readings for you all. But if I could just, you know, convey the energy here that they bring into your life, like just close your eyes and take a deep breath and receive this transmission, this energetic transmission I'm sending to you now. This is what they're bringing into your life. And it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm loving your reading. I'm loving your reading, my Hathor crew. Okay, let's get a final set of cards here to see more about your relationship and your life with your future spouse here, okay? Oh gosh. Okay, that shuffling was crazy, but that one card did flip over, so we're gonna honor that. So we're gonna go with this Two of Wands, okay? So what I'm sensing with the Two of Wands is they definitely help you see other perspectives. They help you see the bigger picture, when maybe at times you get so focused on the task at hand, like the things that need to be done to build and expand the business, the community, whatever it is that you are working on, right? Developing and growing. They help you see the bigger picture. So they help you take a step back and get like a bird's eye view of everything. Eight of Wands. Wow. So a lot of fast movement. It's going to be like a whirlwind here when you are together. It's almost like, my gosh, there's not enough hours in the day because there's so many opportunities, so many ways in which you can help the world, help communities, help, you know, elevate the vibrations of the planet, to kind of take it there. We have the Page of Swords. Ten of Cups. Oh, look at that card. Celebration, family, relationships are highlighted, peace, bliss, joy. Oh, love it. And the Knight of Cups. Wow. So, you know, a lot of these readings are in this kind of part of the reading. We're getting court cards coming through. So definitely want to explain those for all of you. So in this connection, there's definitely someone who carries a lot of characteristics of the swords, and the other person carries a lot of characteristics and energy of the cups. So what is the swords energy exactly? So the swords energy is about logic, intelligence, facts, data, observations, being practical, sharp-minded. So book smarts is really what's coming through. Um, yeah, someone who's very good at managing a situation, like very good at leadership. Okay, um, and there's a lot. What I'm getting here, there's a lot of energy of responsibility. Someone who knows what it means to be responsible and play their part so that everyone else is able to do their part and kind of get taken care of in a way. Okay. A lot of discipline as well with the swords energy. Again, making sure things that need to get done. And with the cups energy here, we have intuitive, creative, empathetic, sympathetic. So um, very much like someone that knows how to read a room, knows how to sense what another person needs in life to feel better, to feel secure, to feel safe. So that's a lot of the energy that I'm getting. So whichever one kind of resonates with you, the other person has the other set of characteristics, okay? And for those of you that are familiar with astrology, the zodiac, swords is air energy. So that is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, all right? And then for those of you, again, familiar with zodiac astrology, the cups energy is water. So that is Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Okay, so however that fits for your relationship, your dynamic, it's good for you to know. And if it's not so much the signs, that's not their sun sign, it could be just in their birth chart. There's a lot of placements within for this person in the air signs, and for this person, there's a lot of planetary placements within water signs. Okay, so just to add a little bit of clarity, because again, this is a general reading, so it's going to apply a little bit differently to everybody. So I kind of shared a little bit about the meanings of these cards as they came out, but let me just take a step back and look at them together. So okay, so one thing that I'm getting here with these two cards is that it's gonna feel very much like a whirlwind romance, okay? It's not gonna be one of those things where, like, you're together for like 5 years and then you get married, which I'm not saying that's wrong or that's a bad thing. I know that's how some people have, grow and evolve in their relationship these days, that many people that are of the younger generations, they're putting off marriage, versus the generations in, the 1900s. They were keen to get married because that meant survival, okay? Especially when it comes to financial resources. But now most people can kind of get by independently. So marriage, the reason for marriage or coming into union has taken on a different tone. In your case, things are going to move very, very quickly, by in comparison to the old standards or the old ways. Or the modern ways, excuse me, where it's kind of like, wow, we literally just met a month ago and now we are spending the night at each other's places, and it's almost like we practically live in each other's homes, right? And you guys meet, and then a year later you're gonna get married, you're gonna come into union. So it's a lot of fast moving energy. And like, I'm using these big milestones in a relationship, but it could even be little things where it's like, you spend the night at each other's house early on in the relationship, or you claim each other as boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever title you use very early on in the relationship. Or you say, I love you. Oh, you say, I love you to each other rather early on in the relationship, okay? So it's those types of things where the relationship moves really fast, because again, it's just so aligned. It's like you guys just click and you get each other so well, so easily, and you get along smashingly. And it's like I'm seeing these two puzzle pieces that just fit together so perfectly, so nicely, so seamlessly, gracefully, flawlessly. It's just like, wow. It's almost like, my gosh, why wait? Like, we already know we're meant for each other. We already know who we are to each other and how we can support each other and be there for each other and have this beautiful, wonderful life together. So we don't need to go through this, ritual and protocol that other people set before us. So my loves, if this reading is really resonating with you, comment in the comments down below what it is that resonated with you. What exactly are you calling in? Okay, because I really would love you to be able to manifest whatever it is that you want in your life. And part of manifestation is writing things down, typing things out, saying it out loud. So like, comment what resonated with you, what you're calling in from this reading. And of course, if you feel so inclined, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you're ready for another reading, you can click this link right up here in the top right corner. It'll take you to another reading right here, right now. But otherwise, I had so much fun doing this reading for you. I'm so excited for you. Sending you all so much love and cosmic hugs. Bye. Hey there, Star fam. Welcome back to another reading here at Transform with Ryan. And today we are looking at your future spouse. What is life like with them after marriage, union? And I'm really curious to see how Coventina plays into this. This is a card I was not expecting to see. And for those of you that are new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments down below. Would love to hear from you. So let's talk about Coventina here, shall we? So she is a goddess that I didn't really grow up knowing much about. But she comes from Celtic culture, Celtic tradition, and she is a very powerful goddess of water, actually. So like oceans, rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, she rules them all. And I mean, my gosh, the planet is like mostly water. And you know what else is mostly water, y'all? You got it. Our physical bodies anyway are mostly made up of water. And what's so interesting as I was like learning more about Coventina is that she helps grant a lot of wishes. Because, I don't know if it's the case in your culture or your tradition, but we would have wishing wells here in the US, and I think they do even in Italy, maybe in the UK, but she would throw a coin into a wishing well and make a wish and it will come true. And so Coventina helps grant a lot of wishes for people. Now, what I think is also quite relevant to your life together with your future spouse is, like the card says here, is purification. So water is a very cleansing element. It cleanses energies, bodies, surfaces of impurities and toxins. So, I mean, it says down here, it is time for a cleansing detoxification of your mind and body. Oops, switch those last two. But in any case, what I'm sensing here about your life with your future spouse is that it's really going to be a time in your life of shift and change into healthier habits. Yes. So what I see, and that can look like many, many different things for you. What I'm seeing for some, it's like your spouse or maybe you, right? So just however this works out, one of you is very athletic, very into sports and physical fitness, and you will inspire the other to have an exercise routine, an exercise regimen, and get them in better health. Also, diet can improve, right? Perhaps one of you will create delicious, healthy, nutritious meals for the both of you, for your family together, and improve your health of the body in that way. I'm seeing, for many of you, I'm seeing a lot of improvement as far as like weight gain. So achieving your ideal weight and your weight goals, whatever that is for you. But also I'm hearing from spirit like it's going to be helpful as far as maintaining or preventing heart disease. So strange. I wasn't expecting to pull that information out, but at least in America, heart disease is one of the leading causes of death, like heart attack and stroke, high blood pressure, and the complications of that. And so what I'm seeing is that your life together will be a vast improvement in the overall health and physical well-being at the very least. I'm sensing emotional well-being as well, but at least in the physical well-being, you're going to be healthier together than you were apart. Another thing that came through with this, as far as purification, like cleansing, detoxification, I'm also sensing for some of you is that there's going to be a release of bad habits like drug use, alcohol, excess alcohol consumption, maybe bad gambling habits. So I'm sensing all of these improvements as far as your overall health and well being go in regards to life together and coming together. So it's like one of you is going to be a really, really great influence on the other person. Oh, tobacco use. That's another one. So tobacco use, alcohol use, drug use, gambling habits. So whatever habits that one may consider a fault of yours or a fault of theirs before, they're really going to help you overcome that and improve and have better habits in general. That's beautiful. I love it. So it's a positive influence on the life of the other person. So let's find out more about your life together after marriage. Like, what might the focus be here? And more even about the emotional connection. Let's see what we got coming through. So we have masculine. Ooh, so a lot of what I'm seeing with this is life together is going to be a lot about taking action and doing the things that you've always said you were going to do but never got around to. It's going to be a very active lifestyle together, is what I'm seeing as well. That kind of falls in line with the healthy habits. I see, with this, I see hiking, I see canoeing. So a lot of outdoor recreation and sports. And again, however it applies, maybe you're the more outdoorsy person, and so your partner will be inspired to be spend more time outdoors and be active, or vice versa. But also this taking action and just doing things, and that's where I'm feeling this inspiration, where it's like maybe you were afraid or they were afraid to take action on a goal or a dream or pursue something before, and then after you come together in marriage and in union, you're actually going to go for it. You're going to have that final piece of inspiration, that final bit of motivation to move forward with whatever that is. So, yeah, it's almost like these long held goals and dreams that you had as a single person, or they had when they were single. You're going to be inspired to take action on it when you come together. And I have a feeling that it's because you both are really encouraging towards each other and supportive. So here we have perception. So obviously taking lots of pictures together. I feel like the two of you are really big into selfies before, maybe. Or taking picture of nature, taking picture of objects. And like when you go on vacation, when you go out to eat, you take picture of your food, you take picture of the sights and the attractions and things. And so I see a lot of pictures and photos in your future as well. And so if you or they are the type of person that like to print photos out and frame them and hang them up in the home, I see a lot of beautiful photos on the mantle, in the staircase, on the various tables in the home, and coffee tables, countertop areas, things like that. Oh, so cute. Crossroads, divergent paths, choices, confusion, follow your intuition. So what I'm seeing with this is sort of an echo of what I was talking about earlier about choosing your to pursue your dreams. And so for some of you, life after marriage or union might even involve a career shift, or exploring another way of making money or income, and like a side gig in a way. And maybe you'll even do it together. I feel like that's a possibility for some of you, where maybe you'll become business partners as well as like, life and romantic partners on top of that. But at least one of your lives is gonna shift and take quite a different path than it would have had you never met. Oh my gosh, you also have feminine, your divine feminine, you seeking your twin or your soulmate, and that's the same here. Oh my gosh. So definitely your relationship could have this strong twin flame type of energy between it. Now, twin flame energy, what's so great about it is that you are both different enough to provide like a how can I put this? You both come from different upbringings, different walks of life, different cultures, different sort of societal expectations, upbringing, maybe different societal classes, even. Okay, so there's a really big key difference in the ego identity that makes up you. Okay, and the other person, and this difference is very much, some people might think of it as like opposites attract or very fairy tale kind of romance, like, oh my gosh, I never thought I would end up with this kind of person. They're so opposite or they're so different from me. And that's really beautiful because you can grow together in that way by sharing your experiences from a very different background and sort of enriching the perspective and the awareness of the other person of different sorts of life, different sorts of opinions, okay? So that's what's so wondrous about twin flames, is that a lot of elements of what it means to be alive and what makes up a culture and a society come together in your relationship, right? So, for example, maybe one of you was born into a rich family and one of you was born into a poorer family, right? And so having a rich upbringing, having a poor upbringing, bring with it experiences, right? And expectations, beliefs, limitations, strengths, weaknesses, whatever. And when you come together, you really have this opportunity as lovers, as partners, to have a dialogue about these differences and learn more about the other perspective from that. Does that clarify that a little bit better? Okay, cool. Now, the caution with twin flames is because there are elements of your personality that are very different, it can mean you might argue quite a bit. Okay? And in most cases, in regular types of relationships, that might be a reason to end the relationship and part ways. But in twin flame connections, there's a stronger soul bond there. And so there is an opportunity to stay together and become stronger despite the differences and really holding space for each other in that way. And so just expect that you are both going to have very interesting conversations here as you learn more about each other and each other's perspective. And there are times where you might get into a disagreement, but never forget your love for each other, okay? That I think will trump everything. And offer, gesture, engagement, wedding, rejoice in your union. Oh, beautiful. So I know from this card here that your anniversary is going to be something very important for the both of you and something that you celebrate in rather big ways every year. And I think that's beautiful to sort of remind yourself every year on a special occasion like this, like why you're together and what you love so much about each other. And then why, most importantly, actually, why you choose to continue to stay together. And so you're definitely, what I'm sensing with this card and perception is you both are going to build a lot of beautiful memories together. And the thing is, with this Coventina energy of purification and healthier habits and dispelling these negative energies and stuff, it's so interesting because what I'm seeing is it's almost as if you look back on your life, you won't even recognize the person you were when you were single, when you were younger, because when you both come together, you would have grown and changed and matured and evolved so much with each other's love that it's like, my gosh, your past self is like not even recognizable at this point. So they're really going to transform and shape you in beautiful ways, and you're going to do the same for them. Wow. And not just outwardly, too, again, with the health and the body and the physical well being and stuff like that, but even on an internal level, emotionally, when it comes to your ideals and your belief systems, you're both going to mature quite a bit and evolve in those aspects of your personality and identity. So let's see what else we got coming through here. This is pretty rad. Not enough, frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, jealousy. So this is pointing at the the difference in upbringing again. It's this self sabotage, ego issues. Okay. So it could be something like going back to, and I'm just going to use this as an example, but of course, apply it as it would into your life. So someone who grew up rich, right? Maybe the expectation in the family is that they're going to marry another rich person and, bring the family's wealth together and create even more wealth between the two families, that kind of thing. That might be the expectation. And the person with the wealthier upbringing is going to kind of have that belief and that programming, and they're just going to be so surprised, like, oh my gosh, I fell in love with someone of a lower social class or poorer upbringing. Like, should I be with them? Should I not? Like, but my heart wants to be with them, but my brain is telling me no, I'm meant to be with someone else. Like, all these kinds of ego and self-sabotaging issues, right? Because they're having to get over this programming. And perhaps with the person, not you, I shouldn't have said that, the person that came from the poor upbringing, it's maybe some notions of self-worth. Like, oh my gosh, this person who's really rich and wealthy, like, what would they ever want to do with me? Like, I come from a poor family. What do I have to offer them? So there's going to be these elements of self-sabotage and issues with the ego identity. And the ego is made up of all this conditioning and these limiting belief systems that were programmed into you since birth. And that is going to not entirely be let go when you get married. There's still going to be work to do after you get married and come into union on overcoming those and having that self-worth and realizing that you both deserve each other's love. Okay. And again, there may be different reasons. Maybe one of you again has like health issues and body images and like, oh, I'm too fat. Why would this person who has this awesome, amazing physique want to be with me? Right? So it could even be that. So working through these issues of worthiness together by showing up for each other and loving each other in these beautiful ways, like taking pictures together and taking action, being active. And here with the offer, celebrating anniversaries and important dates of you coming together and meeting each other, Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment. Ah, yes. So, and also this last word, friendship. So not only are you going to be lovers, but you guys are going to be like best friends. And this friendship comes from, again, these very deep, intimate conversations with each other where you can be completely honest and vulnerable with each other and talk about anything and everything for hours on end and never get bored. And this is such a beautiful connection to be able to communicate with each other and do so truthfully without fear of criticism or judgment. So that's kind of where the relationship is heading. Again, we saw this card with not enough, so it's going to be a process getting there and getting completely comfortable with it. But like we were talking about earlier, it seems like you're going to be together for a while to celebrate quite a few anniversaries together, but also take a lot of fun photos together over the years. So you're going to be able to really talk about your experiences in life, both the old ones and the new ones that you're having together. Self-indulgence, focus on self. Oh, look at this. Again, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And that is honestly what a twin flame is really, really great at, is bringing up the shadow aspects of ourselves, the shadow aspects of our personality. Because not, they are painful and challenging energies to work with, these shadow energies, but what's so great about them is as they come up, you can heal and release them and step really more fully into your authentic self and your authentic nature. And so the relationship you two have is going to be the opportunity for you to do that. And that might also have something to do with this crossroads in your life where it's like, hey, I was this person who never thought I would be able to succeed or achieve this goal or dream that I had, but now that I'm with you, I believe I can do it. I believe in myself more because I have your love and support. And so I'm going to go after my dream. So, right? But before that, all these issues of like, oh, I'm not good enough to achieve my dream. I don't have enough skills. I don't have the connections. I don't have the money. Whatever excuses we're making as a result of our shadow aspects are all going to dissolve once we get into this relationship, and we'll be able to take action and have this crossroads in our life. The snake, competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over shoulder, the other woman. Ah, oh my gosh. So for some of you, definitely there is going to be some X energy in this situation that has an influence over your relationship. And it doesn't necessarily, it's nothing about like cheating on the other person. Like, I don't sense that at all. What I'm actually sensing more is that perhaps one of you was actually married before and got a divorce and separated. But because maybe that person that got divorced or separated has a child from this previous marriage, you're going to constantly have to interact with the ex, okay? Because you're raising a child together. Or you have a past together. Like, it could even be that maybe one of you had bought a house together or started a business together, and just because you separated in the marital sense doesn't mean that your assets have fully separated, okay? So maybe it's just like your partner lives in the house that they used to live in when they were married, and you move in to that new home and you're starting a life together, but there's maybe you're feeling energies of the ex partner, that kind of thing. Or again, maybe they started a business together and they work together even though they're exes, so you might see them at the office, right? Like, I'm thinking like a law firm. Maybe they're both lawyers or they're both doctors, and they opened up a practice together and they still work together even though they separated. So I sense that type of energy, and who knows if it's if they're going to be able to separate that energy at some point, but it is going to be a part of your life together, okay? That the ex will show up here and there in conversation, if not in person. Oh my gosh, we have another camera! Reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. And so, yes, you both are going to be making a lot of new memories together. It's almost like I'm feeling like the energy I'm getting from you or your ex is like you can't even take enough pictures. It's like I feel like perhaps it might even be the case that you go to the camera option or the camera app on your phone, and it's like you have to storage capacity has been reached, you need to delete some photos in order to take new ones. Like, I'm seeing that. So definitely you might need to consider investing in a phone with a lot of memory, or a device that can hold all the pictures that you're going to be taking together and all these wonderful memories you're going to have. Even video. You know, home movies was such a big thing, like with a camcorder in my youth and in the kind of decade or two before I was born, and I see that with you all as well. Like creating these home movies, these family movies together of you and also even your children, like recording your children at like soccer games and plays and musicals and birthday parties and all that kind of stuff. So very much into the habit of recording, taking record of your memories via photo or video. Okay, and then, so what came out here is the 5 of coins. Interesting, interesting. Let's see what else comes out before we dive deep into that. 8 of coins. 7 of swords. King of Wands. 4 of Cups. Ooh, interesting. So for the other readings, there were always 2 court cards that jumped out, and this one only has the 1. And so what I'm sensing is perhaps this speaks to your future spouse and their personality and kind of how that presents when living with them. Okay, so let's talk about this Wands energy before we jump into these other things here. So with the Wands energy, the King of Wands is someone who's very charismatic, very magnetic, very attractive, and not just physically, but they just have these almost like pheromones that are so magnetic, and you're like, the intriguing. Like people want to know about them. People want to know what they think, what they thoughts are, what they like. They want to be close to them. Like you see this sun here, right, and this phoenix bird. This is someone who really shines and stands out in the crowd and attracts a lot of attention. Okay, at that, and those are the positive aspects of King of Wands energy. Some shadow aspects are someone that can be manipulative, even. They're so persuasive, they're so charismatic that they may just be used to getting their way. And they don't always pay any mind to how it might affect other people. They're more concerned with how it will benefit or affect them, or sort of like the mission, the greater whole, the community, versus like on an individual, like, oh, this person won't like it, so I won't do it. It's more like, well, is the group gonna benefit from it overall? Then who cares about that? Minority perspective in a way. Okay. Wands energy can also be a bit temperamental, in the sense that they can be prone to angry outbursts, as far as shadow aspects go. Now, as far as zodiac astrology goes, this could signify that your person is a fire sign. So Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. And oh, another shadow aspect could be like attention seeking. Okay, maybe a little bit narcissistic tendencies at times as well, just because it's so used to being the center of attention. Okay, but anyways, so Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or they could have a lot of planetary placements in their birth chart that are in those signs. Okay, so that's a little bit about possibilities when it comes to their personality. Now, let's take a look at this section here, because what I'm sensing here is, life can't always be roses and cake and fun times, right? And so, Spirit is highlighting a little bit of some of the things you'll go through that will be challenges in your relationship. So with this card, the word that I'm getting is deception. Okay. And so there are going to be people or a person or something in your life that comes in to your life together and maybe lies or doesn't speak truthfully. I'm sensing it could even be like a family member. So a family member that you struggle with. So it could be like an in-law as well, right? Because this person is not always genuine, is what I'm getting. They tend to be very sneaky. They tend to speak in like half truths, and it's not like you can really escape them fully because they're part of the family or part of the extended family, or they're an in-law. And so it's going to be a really big source of, stress in a way in life, where there is another person that you may not, see eye to eye on, and that puts a bit of a strain. So it could be I'm sensing family member for a lot of you. Like your brother or sister-in-law is someone who tends to lie or cheat a lot. Even like, I'm seeing even board games. Like maybe you guys play board games and this person, have to keep an extra eye on them because they might move an extra space forward, or take a little bit more money than they should from the Monopoly bank. Something like silly like that. Or it could be one of your family members, of course, too, that brings this energy in. Now with this, I sense a lot of hard work and the need for dedication. Like things won't always come easy. Some things you're going to have to work hard for, and it's going to be painful in some ways, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Now that now that I'm like feeling into this card and this energy, it could have to do with these habits that you or your partner overcome. Things like alcoholism, I know can be a really big issue for a lot of people, because so many people like to celebrate big events with alcohol. And so it can be a constant reminder of someone's past if they had dealt with alcohol abuse. Or alcoholism, that's like, oh, when it's like New Year's or it's a birthday party and everyone's wanting to drink, and maybe some people forget and like, hey, do you want to have a drink? And the person's like, oh, no, 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 I haven't, I haven't been drinking for like several years now. And so there's this energy there that sometimes maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable, and it's like you want to be supportive of the person who's developing these healthier habits, but it's kind of their journey, right, that they have to go through, whether that's you or them again. And it's going to be hard at times, and there may be times where you might falter or feel like you're going to cave and give in and revert back to other habits. But just remember to have patience and grace and forgiveness in those moments, okay? That nobody is perfect. Perfect is an illusion. And that there are times where it might be hard to overcome these behavior patterns of the past, but you can do it. Just because someone slips up once doesn't mean it's a lost cause. Okay, that's what I'm getting from Spirit here. Just because one mistake, one slip up doesn't mean it's a lost cause. Okay, like if somebody drinks a beer one day at a party doesn't mean like, oh gosh, we have to watch out now because they're gonna become an alcoholic again. Or if you decide to treat yourself one day and have an extra slice of cake or pie, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna gain 20 pounds and I'm gonna be fat all over again, or whatever the story or the narrative might be that might be created in that person's head. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to be challenged and to fail in a way, but pick yourself back up. Okay? True failure is if you fall and you stay down. It's not a failure if you fall, but you get back up. And there's no time limit between when you fall and get back up. Okay? Now, here with this, what's interesting, what's coming through with this is some loneliness here. And it could be that maybe one of you has to spend time away from home for work. So, like flight attendant, pilot, Army, Navy, whatever. There's going to be, or maybe regional manager or director or something like that, or traveling physician, locum tenens, something like, right? So there's going to be periods of time where you're going to be in separation in your relationship. And I don't think it's a forever thing. It's just for like a certain set of years within your relationship. And it's going to be a bit hard, this distance that you have between the two of you, this physical distance you have. And there are going to be times where you're going to feel lonely, or they're going to feel lonely as well. But I think that's why you both take so many pictures and so many videos, to be honest, because when you're in separation because of work responsibilities, you'll be able to look on your phone and be like, oh, like, this is my boo, this is my baby, these are the happy memories we had together. And once I finish this deployment, or I finish this task, or this business responsibility, I can go back home to my baby, that kind of energy. Also, I see, just came through as well, I see you both FaceTiming a lot. That was kind of like your preferred way of communication. Like, some people love to text, some people love to just talk on the phone and hear voice, but you both really love video. So either you're FaceTiming, but the other thing I'm getting to is you also send each other videos. I don't think this app is as popular as it used to be, but it's making me think of like Snapchat, where you record like a face video and then you message it to somebody and you just kind of go back and forth with that. So truly, truly cute, truly amazing. Oh my gosh, I would love to even see pictures of these momentous moments in your life and just feel the energy of celebration and love in them. So like and comment down below what resonated with you in this reading and what you're calling in, what elements of your life together with your future spouse that you're calling in that came out in this reading. That's definitely a surefire way to manifest it. Okay, so the more senses you can incorporate it, hearing it, seeing it, writing it down, like touching it in a way, is going to help bring these things into reality, whichever aspects resonate with you. So, of course, I invite you also to subscribe to this channel if you resonate with the vibes here at Transform with Ryan. That way you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you want to go to another reading, you can click this link in the top right corner. It'll take you there. But otherwise, my dears, I had so much fun doing this reading for you. I am sending you so much love and cosmic hugs. Have a very, very lovely rest of your day. So excited for this beautiful, beautiful spouse coming into your life. Take care, loves.